Mm-hmm. What up, guys? Sorry, I'm arguing on the internet right now. Maybe we should get some water. Water good? Is water good again? Water based? Water's based again. Make water based again. Speaking of that, I will be getting water. Wow, based. We should look into something called Open Manet. Apparently, an open-based version of Manet. It's an open source project for building Raspberry Pi based Manet radio with the Wi-Fi Halo 95 megahertz using Morris microchips. Mobile ad hoc network is a self-forming wireless mesh. Each node connects directly without centralized infrastructure. It's design. Apparently, these things are fucking super expensive. But super based that sipping on that purple drink. What up, Mr. Camping? Been a while. Hope you've been doing good. Sometimes it is good to sip on that purple drink. But I prefer that water drink. We're gonna look at some more QubesOS stuff and realize that people have been psyoped on the fact that they need all these resources in order to do it. Very cool. And we're also going to be making our own Ubuntu, but cooler. I wonder if I can use a different init system. Does Ubuntu need systemd to function? Raspberry Pi extortion going on right bone? I have no idea what that means, but I agree. What's up, I'm in Common Sense? Can Ubuntu use Open? I think it's what, OpenRC in it? Can we get rid of systemd? The real problem. Yes, Ubuntu can use OpenRC as an init system, but it requires some configuration to replace the default system unbased systemd. OpenRC is designed to be compatible with various Unix-like operating systems, including Linux. How to install OpenRC in Ubuntu? I collect every Pi like it's a Bitcoin. For real. Pies are getting kind of expensive, but they're still cool. I kind of want to get a Pi for that to build stacks them in that motherfuckers. The hoes hate it. I am proof that you don't need much resources to run QubesOS. i5, 8 gigs of RAM. It can run 7 to 8 VMs at once. What is the Cube psyop you're talking about, bro? A lot of people on the internet, especially armchair Linux enthusiasts, think that QubesOS is either A, too complicated to run, which it's not, because it's not, QubesOS isn't Linux, it's a hypervisor, and that you need all these resources in order to function. I ran QubesOS with the bare minimum of 6 gigs of RAM on an i7. I believe i7 was i7 something with my processor, and I also not only was functioning on it, it wasn't that complicated to set up. QubesOS has a GUI interface. You don't ever really have to touch the command line. And another thing, yeah, they are retards. But the thing is this kind of FUD gets spread around and people believe it because, again, they don't check the documentation. And my argument generally with the Qubes deniers, the people that think QubesOS is this hard Linux distribution, it's not a Linux distribution, but this hard operating system to run on, people take that at face value because, again, armchair Linux enthusiasts that use fucking Linux Mint at their wife's boyfriend's house are the ones that are spreading it. This isn't to point any names or anything, but Techlore, Henry from Techlore, Nate from the New Oil, internet people on the internet have all spread this idea that QubesOS is a extremely non-beginner Linux distribution when it's fucking not. And I just disagree with their stance on it. First off, let's take it at face value. Linux, anything you pick up that's new is going to be hard. It's like a bike. If I hand you a bike and don't tell you how to get on top of the bike and how to pedal, or give you some form of guidance, you're never gonna. A bike is like fucking rocket science at that point. If you hand a blind, deaf Amish person a fucking bike or a car or whatever, Linux Minute cucks for real, or a car, they're gonna freak out and have a stroke for the first couple days, but they get over it like anything else. Anything that you learn is gonna be hard in perspective because you don't know it yet, and that's just how learning is. I mean, that's just how fucking learning is. There are still things about Linux I don't even know, and I don't care. I don't care. QubesOS really is really easy. Yeah, it's literally fucking everything's a GUI. It's not even the crazy part. Everything is a GUI on QubesOS. That's the crazy part. You can so the only thing that I will say that gave me issue is split PGP. Just use PuppyOS or something that lets you get the huzz interested. Women don't like PuppyOS; they like TinyCore. Easier than people make it out to be. For real. You can actually here's the crazy part. You can it's kind of interesting. So the hardest part of QubesOS is 3 things. Hotkeys, when you have to copy something to another cube, but you can change the hotkeys to whatever you want. I got used to whatever the default was. Split PGP, but that's very esoteric and not everyone needs to fucking do it. And you see, split PGP and split CTAP proxy again. These are esoterics. These aren't for the normies. Those were kind of annoying to set up. I had to think, ask a question, and then the community element chat pretty much helped me. And then the second part, the last part is updating your cubes. That's it. So if Fedora, all your QubesOSs are on Fedora 41, Fedora 41, XFCE for Fedora 41. to update to Fedora 42, you have to stop all of your cubes. You have to update all the templates and then restart everything. That's it. You have to stop everything. You have to update to the new one. It's in the the package man. They even have the documentation how to fucking do it. Everything that you want to do, it's documented. PGP smart cards and PGP keys on SD cards, unbeatable combo. Actually, this is something that that can happen. Is PGP smart cards can be compromised. Our 43 is 42. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just doing it. I'm just saying in perspective. So QubesOS has a really good point out the vulnerabilities with PGP smart cards. They kind of, it's not really a solvable issue, but they can mitigate it. So how split PGP works is you have two virtual machines. One virtual machine is offline and one virtual machine is online. So when you want to send your work email, and you want to do PGP encryption, your offline will grant access for no more than 5 minutes. You can make it less, and it will then immediately cut off the internet and go back into its own virtual machine. Like it exposes those keys for a maximum of 5 minutes, and then it kills it. The problem there is some problem with stuff that doesn't require air gap systems. They have their own vulnerabilities. There's some people say do air gap PGP, do all your encryption and decryption on an air gap system, but it doesn't get updates, so that can be considered vulnerable. So this is a kind of a more secure way, because even offline network access cubes can get updates, because what you can do is you can give it temporary access, get the update, and then kill the cubes itself. Cubes is pretty smart on how it sandboxes everything, and it's pretty smart with its resources, and it's pretty well documented. If someone dropped a PGP vuln and you haven't patched it, if you are going to get social engineered eventually, either way. It's not the vulnerability. I mean, we can look at I'll show you what how they explain it. They explain it better than. It's not a problem that can be solved, and PGP's problem in general is pretty bad. Anyways, PGP is not good. There's better options out there. It's just because you can do it yourself, and it's still widely available. But there's advantages of split PGP versus traditional PGP with a smart card, and we've explained this slide before. But it's very interesting on how it works. So it's often thought that the use of smart cards for private key storage guarantees ultimate safety. While this might be true, unless the attacker can find usually very expensive, requiring physical presence to extract the keys from the smart card, but only with regards to safety. Arduino is making a Raspberry Pi competitor. Look at their Arduino Uno Q. I will. Seems cool. I love Arduino. That was my first microboard. But with only regards to the safety of the private key itself. However, there is usually nothing that could stop the attacker from requesting the smart card to perform a decryption of all the user's documents the attacker has found or a need to decrypt. In other words, while protecting the user's private key is an important task, we should not forget that ultimately the user's data that are to be protected, and the smart card chip has no way of knowing the request to decrypt the documents are now coming from the attacker's script and not from the user sitting in front of the monitor. Similarly, the smart card doesn't make the process of digitally signing the document or transaction in a way that is more secure. The user cannot know what the chip is really signing. Unfortunately, this problem isn't reliably solved by split GPG. With Qubes split GPG, this problem is pretty much drastically minimized, because each time the key is to be used, the user is asked for consent. So this is what makes it different. The user is asked for consent. You have to allow it, like right here. Do you allow VMwork to access your PGP keys? So you're allowing explicit consent. Plus, it is always notified each time the key is used via tray notifications the default time is 5 minutes by default, and the domain where the PGP backend is running. This way, it would be easy to spot unexpected requests from decrypted documents. Setting up the backend domain, it's very easy to set up. I set it up eventually. There was something I missed. I don't know if it was a skill issue or me issue or whatever, but it's kind of like one of those things that is very cool, and it's on the way they implement it, and they tell you up front that there's like, hey, this is the cool part, this is what it can solve, what this can't solve, and et cetera, et cetera. You can use Keybase with split PGP. It's pretty cool. Using Git with split PGP. So there's a lot of ways you can make it where there's security benefits. In the standard split PGP setup, there's at least 2 ways which the work GPG VM might be compromised. First, an attacker who is capable of exploiting a hypothetical bug in work email's MUA could gain control of the work email, the VM, and the send mail inform request, which exploits a hypothetical bug in PGP backend running in the work GPG VM, giving the attacker control of the work GPG VM. Second, a malicious public key find, which is imported into the work VM, might exploit a hypothetical bug in the GPG backend, which is running again, giving the attacker full control of the work VM. In this case, such attacker might be able to leak both master key, secret key, and passphrase. If any were used, it would regularly be input in the work VM, and therefore easily obtained by an attacker who controls this VM. Back to the work email. VM or another VM via the net VM, which is always untrusted by default, via the split PGP protocol or the converted channels. Once the master secret key in the work email VM, the attacker could simply email to himself or in the world, or to another place in the world. An alternative setup described in the section, the sub key setup, even the attacker who managed to gain access to the work VM will not be able to obtain the user's master key, since it simply is not there. Rather, the master key remains in the vault VM, which is extremely unlikely to be compromised since there's nothing ever copied or transferred into. The attacker might nonetheless be able to leak the secret subkey from the work VM in the manner described above, but even if this is successful, the secret master key can simply be used secure the master key simply used to revoke the compromised subkeys to issue new subkeys in their place. This is significantly less devastating than having to create a new master key pair. And then there's some other current limitations, etc., and etc., etc. You know, it's definitely a cool concept, and the cool thing is, like, the network in, like they said in QubesOS, is untrusted, and not only it's untrusted. You can create very specific firewall rules to allow no internet access on certain ones versus other ones. You can create, even transferring files creates a internal system link from one VM to the other that's secured in transit from one VM to the other, and then it breaks that link. And it's only to each other. Even transferring files has been thought of. It does an internal network to do it. Never touching the internet. So your vault never touches the internet. That's the cool part. And it revokes access. Let me see this real quick. The reason why Linux Mint and Zorin OS is recommended to most users and not QubesOS is because most people are very less competent and patient than us. Most people refuse to read documentation. But you don't need to. That's the thing. You don't need to read the very esoteric documentation. If I could, the way they want it to be, Ubuntu and its derivatives are a no-go for me. They want it to be easy. They can just boot and use the OS and everything works out of the way. It does. I mean, if you've never used QubesOS, it's hard for me to take anyone's criticism of it serious. It comes with default Debian, default Fedora, default... Look, half the people in the world use fucking browsers for everything. They just use browsers. They, all your applications on your phone are browsers, but if somebody's at a desktop, 90% of the time, they're opening up a fucking browser. They're opening a browser for YouTube. They're opening a browser for X, Y, and Z. They're opening a browser for fucking TikTok, for Facebook. Browsers are still so common to open up stuff. That's what QubesOS really fucking is. And if you need an application to work, you just you can use Flatpaks. There's ways to get This premise that QubesOS is, it doesn't work, or people just need it to just work, is kind of like saying, like, never driving a manual transmission. I meant LXQT, but Fedora has an LXQT spin. I wouldn't use it though. It's like saying driving a manual transmission is hard and never driving a manual transmission. Once you do it for like 5 minutes, it's not hard. QubesOS is a specialized OS for privacy, and most people don't care about privacy that much yet. No, it's not. It is focused on security. Yes, security. There's a difference, and people do care about security. It's not specialized in the sense that it's not a specialized Linux distro. All it is taking Zen Hypervisor and taking the concept of virtualization and making it actually a million times easier. I would rather hand somebody QubesOS and them just do a couple installs of Fedora or like Debian. I think some of them are even already default in, because I haven't set up QubesOS in a long. Everything's already set up for me. A few defaults. You literally just open the fucking browser and it works. You know what I mean? I've watched YouTube on QubesOS. I've played some. I've gotten applications. I've gotten Joplin to work. I've gotten app images to work. I've got Flatpaks was kind of a interesting rabbit hole to go down to, but it's really based on security. Privacy is just kind of like an added benefit, because you can ship it with Unix. It's the easiest way to set up Unix. When is the QubesOS live stream with screen going? Once fucking I get it sent to me, I even reached out to. I finally reached out to Nova Custom. I reached out to them, and they're like, "Hey, we figured it out. It's on its way." And then I messaged them like 5 minutes later, like a few minutes later. I'm like, "Well, where's the tracking information? What's the ETA? What's going on?" I'm like kind of pissed, because like I put the address it was supposed to be sent to, and I double checked to make sure I wasn't looking like because I'm not going to go to a company if I'm the retard that made the mistake. I've made address mistakes before. It's not, but it's not an address mistake. And then when I look through all the transcripts and shit, it was like fucking like a nightmare. I was like pissed just reading all this. So like I was like mad. I was like, guys, it's not a small amount of money, A. And B, I was being very reasonable to be like, why did my package show up definitely not near where I am, and why wasn't I notified when it got sent out, and why couldn't I see the address that it was going to? Because I checked. I was like, why isn't it showing me the address where it's going to? Why isn't it doing this? And then after it got delivered, I was like, these fucking retards sent it to like a person around me, like a house around me. And I'm like, okay, I know, because it's happened before with this specific carrier, because they're a fucking nightmare to even use. And I go over and check, and I'm like, these fucking morons sent it to the wrong fucking city still. So I contact Nova Custom, long story short, and they're like, we're sorry. And I'm like, what are you sorry for? Just fix it. And give me a fucking ETA. You think the normal thing would be to give me a fucking tracking number and an ETA. They told me, like, hey, it's going to be picked up tomorrow, and it's going to be sent out, blah, blah, blah. Tracking number, ETA. That's crazy. And, like, this isn't the first time I've had a fucking problem with, like, them shipping stuff. Like, get your shit together. For real. Like, it's like, it made me, like, angry because I'm like, you guys aren't, like, inexpensive. And I understand shit happens, but you sent it to the... I even, like, once FedEx wouldn't release the address to me. So I'm like, whatever. UPS wouldn't release the address to me. I was like, okay. And then the shipping, the people that took the shipping back wouldn't release. They were like, this doesn't match our file. There's nothing we can do. I'm like, all right, fuck you, kind of thing. Like, I just, like, it's like a very time wasting. It's like very time consuming. That's the problem. That's the part that I'm annoyed about. I'm not mad at the workers. I'm not mad at the people that didn't make the mistake. I'm mad at the company that doesn't have their shit together. That's not cheap. That's the point. The lack of communication is fucking crazy. Like, the lack of good communication, in my opinion. It's just it's a big L. Huge L. That's my problem with it. Ooh. And the thing is, I like their product. I think their product is good. I genuinely like their product. I think their product is good. I think their quality is good. I think they're, minus the fact that the first F up, which I understand that's a manufacturing thing, it can happen. But everything else, not good. Very bad. Bad customer service, in my opinion. Bad customer service and bad communication skill needs to be worked on. I get it. They're fucking probably 20 hours ahead of it, 10, 11 hours behind us or ahead of us or whatever. And maybe they don't fucking work on the weekend. But don't ship globally if you can't fucking deliver. Don't ship globally if you can't deliver and then correct a problem and then follow up and be like, hey, sorry, here's your tracking number. Something. Jesus Christ. Like, sometimes you feel... I saw a video where someone managed to run Steam. Oh, that's sick. How much RAM, though? Oh, full Debian Linux with... Never mind Debian, I'm out. This is actually something that would be cooler. It's not for gaming, but... Bringle Studio. So... This is a very cool company. They're, like, kind of, obviously, behind. They make something called timeless computing. They're pretty sick. I have one of their... Was it Bring Us? I don't know what Bring Us is. So, I have this. I have this right here. This is actually a really cool device. Definitely worth it. You're going to pay more in shipping than... Or just about as much in shipping for the device. Oh, nice. All open source hardware. It's supposed to be able to run. Kind of like, in case like shit hits the fan. This is supposed to run applications that run forever. They make tons of computers, like stuff. Like, it's supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to make a computer and it's supposed to be able to survive like the apocalypse kind of thing. And it's very cool. It's a very cool company. They're kind of expensive. Like their storage obviously is expensive. This is you're like, oh, you're getting how much? 2,000 characters. Bingo Studio did a game on the Uno Q. Oh, nice. The issue I got with Arduino Q is that it only gets one port. It only got one port USB-C. USB cool, but one port kind of sucks. I don't remember what channels I ran on Steam. That's kind of sick. So the cool thing about the stall USB dongle is it uses it pretty much simply plug in the device into your computer, any open serial communication program that supports VT100 emulation, PuTTY, Term, Team, Microcon, Screen, in order to access the built-in text editor. Also, Blue Solid Steel is more compact, but it has less memory and less powerful MCU. So this is pretty sick. It's supposed to last a very long time. The lifespan is supposed to be 100 years. Lifespan, yeah. Yeah, the lifespan. So this is a theory. They don't know. You can't really test this, but it's supposed to last a really long time. Obviously, it's expensive, but you can use this technically in the case of future data recovery in the event that USB interface were to be obsolete. RP240 were to become non-functional, it should still be possible to recover the FRAM data using SOP8 test clip and the FRAM's IC marked RS64. So you should be able to pull the information off of it still. There is a level of encryption too. Apparently some experimental encryption support. It doesn't ship with it. And this is again kind of outdated. I don't know if it's updated, but that would be sick. You could list your notes in there, but it's supposed to last a really long time. And then they have game consoles. They have, I mean, so much shit. They're making stuff essentially. What is this Wolf starter kit? They make stuff so that you can kind of. This kit contains everything you need to get started with the Z-Wolf MCUs. Connect to a solderless board. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to like build like really funky computers that are apparently like super functional or something like that. This includes the multi-tool can be used to program blank modules firmware such as the Z-Wolf VM or BASIC and to communicate with them. Virtual machine. It's supposed to applicate. It's a simple embedded applications that require long-term data retention, long-term functionality. Yeah, apparently it's supposed to be super for. It looks cool. If this is what you get, it's very cool. It's a very cool concept. I do want to get one of their. What does this do? Low power, smart grow light that can be chained to create custom. Oh yeah, I forgot they did this so that you can have your open source smart lights. And then, wow, is a desktop storage controller with socket 4 modules, which paired with mods, it can be used to build small term-long storage arrays. Also see imp install. USB-C port with USB interface. 4 mod sockets can multiple logical units. Nice. Oh, computer. I wonder if you could attach this to your regular, just your regular PC. Is a desktop storage controller with sockets up to 16 MMOD modules paired with FRAM mods, MM mods. It can be used to build long-term storage arrays. USB-C port with interface, resources, case, multi-tool, computer. Dimensions, data retention 10 years after 500K write cycles. Lifespan 100 years. How much storage though? Can be mapped to logical needs. Okay. Oh, this is the flash. Oh, there we go. Non-flash 32 256 megabit. Is that it? Interesting. I will beat my void and get some water, as you should. Water good. I wonder if this is where the storage is. It can be used with 6 or 12 pin M-pod sockets. M-pods are okay. Man, I really wish I. Oh, it's USB Type C. There we go. Yeah, I'm assuming this is something I would just plug in and then it would. I could plug it in and maybe. Any new blog? Survival electronics is the ability to exist in the future. We strive to make products. You can even make trusted networks. Which is kind of cool. I do like the idea of portable. Our FBA computers will provide transparency and timeless approach. Make low-power agriculture available. It's true, as you should. Security device. Oh yeah, is this the? I think this is the. This is cool. It's the one-time pad, a key generated in Key Vault that can, in theory, provide a perfect quantum-proof encryption between two devices. It's sold in pairs. The open-source software allows you to generate the key using Elzan's hardware TRNG, True Random Number Generator, and copy it to the second device. Each device then can generate approximately 2 megabytes of perfectly secure encrypted messages, which can be transmitted over any communication medium and decrypted by the other device. It's currently intended for developers. The software firmware is not ready for general use. Hardware TRG for OTP key generation, open source messaging software, 3D printed enclosure included. 2, NZ device. I should get this and test this out. They're attacking I2P. Where's Jay been? Of course they're attacking I2P, Jay. I should bookmark this and check it out. Super cool. I remember seeing that and I wanted to know if I could get. There was a point in time where if I could get it or not, because it was on back order. But now that it's here. Ooh, a radio kit. Meshtastic. Quit being employed, Jay. Employment's for losers. And then there was, where's the secure network? I think that was in their blog. This is just a very cool concept. Oh yeah. Building a trusted network Kingling. Yeah, that was it. This was kind of cool. They're very into the 3D printed space too. I'm helping communism. Wouldn't working not? No, working would be the opposite of helping communism. You're showing your fair market labor value to your employer. Just like how I give my fair market labor value to YouTube for free. Sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Yeah, you should help capitalism. Don't forget to thank Raytheon today and your shareholders. So apparently, Ubuntu can use OpenRC as an init system. It may require some configuration. This is what the internet says. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Configure OpenRC. After installation, you may need to configure OpenRC to manage your services. They involve creating an init script and service up service. Based. Okay. Woo! Alright, so I gotta look up some stuff. Project test. Gotta make a virtual machine. I unfortunately have to install Ubuntu. Oh wait, don't I have an Ubuntu desktop? Sorry, void Linux. Delete. Ubuntu. Motherfucker, I didn't need that damn Ubuntu in goddamn 79 fucking years. 8. Okay, let's change that to damn near 75. I wonder if I have to install it to make it work. Because Ubuntu is Sheldon's favorite Linux distro. Why isn't uninstalling Ubuntu back with the water and rebooted void based? Why is uninstalling Ubuntu a bad thing? No, it's a good thing. Yeah, we need to change that. I wonder how I can make... Okay, well, Gentoo and Void are my favorite Linux distros, as they should be. They're the most based. But what is your favorite hypervisor? Are you making a new brain rot distro? We are. We're going to make Ubuntu worse. We're going to we're going to remove all safety measures. So just... We're going to remove all safety measures, so just regular Ubuntu, guys. My favorite hypervisor is QubesOS fork of Zen. Wow, based. Why is this shit not working? I give enough, not RAM. Alright, quit that again. I heard the motherfucker play. QubesOS or VMware Hyper-V combo? QubesOS, of course. Why the fuck would I use VMware? Motherfucker. Maybe the new Ubuntu desktop? Huh? Yikes. Dockers and containers are retarded. Docker's fine. Hyper-V. I actually like LXC containers, but Docker's okay. I use Docker for some stuff. Alpine, baby. Alpine. I'm a Alpine container enjoyer. Corporate or Fed requirements? For real. If you use Hyper-V, you are in a corporate. I thought didn't they backtrack on their free tier? I'm pretty sure they're charging now, right? Ugh, 6 gigs. Blow, 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 blow. Windows outage feels gamer talks on Linux switch. People aren't going to switch to Linux because fucking the Windows went out one time. I'm gonna be honest. I've only used Debian and Ubuntu-based distros. Yeah, we know. You didn't have to say you were gay twice. I started on Debian. I just have a lot of issues. I started on Ubuntu. Ubuntu is my first Linux distro. That's the first thing that most people find. I highly doubt most people find Gentoo first when you're looking how to speed up your laptop with a different option. Yeah, they give like $100 or something for 30 days now. Oh, okay. Why is tens of kilobytes download speed happening? You've been hacked. It seems every download in the tens of kilobytes for me. You've been compromised, Billy. You switched away from QubesOS and you've been hacked. I just don't like I don't like Debian. I don't like LTS Linux distros anymore. As my personal use, I am not a fan of them. Ubuntu Debian and derivatives are mostly gateway distros. Yeah, once you realize systemd is the problem. You kind of want to get away from system. Once you realize systemd sucks, you want to get away from systemd. And I mean, there's suckless distros, there's source distros, there's rolling release. I like rolling release. Rolling release is my favorite, and I like Void Linux init system on the way it starts and links systems, like systeming. And the cool thing is with Void, if I want to take my entire the entire repository and do it all locally, I can do it all locally. I don't have to reach out. I like Void Linux. I like a lot of the things that it does. I like the package manager. My favorite package manager that I've ever used was probably Pacman, to be honest. No, I lied. Solus. Solus Linux is probably my favorite Linux distribution, and it was my favorite package manager. It was EP KG or something like that. Epoch or whatever. Beautiful, flawless, worked. I just there was some controversy I didn't like. I don't know how well the maintenance of it is, and but it's an LFS. It's an LFS distro. It's not based on anything. apt is my favorite package manager. Fast. Billy, we know you're lying. We know you like Portage. Oh, APK. I don't like the apt package manager, to be completely honest. I don't like Canonical as a company for a lot of reasons. They're kind of evil, but there are a lot of Linux distributions companies that are like do it are evil. Like Red Hat's pretty fucking evil. Well, Red Hat got bought out by IBM, so they're pretty fucking evil too. And they killed CentOS like a pile of shit, like a giant pile of shit. But it brought in Rocky Linux and what's the other one? If someone could tell me what the other one was, what's the other fork? There was that's what I like about open source. A shitty company can do bad stuff, and then someone can be like, "Hey, we're not going to do bad stuff." Like Canonical is biggest problem is they also have. They're in it to make it. Canonical's like in it to make money. So, APK is the Alpine Package Manager. Oh, okay. I thought it was something else. I thought it was PAKG. I thought it was. Am I smoking crack? I thought it was something else. I remember when I got Alpine to work. It is APK. Alpine Package Keeper. It is. I just want to have Alpine on my phone. That's it, guys. Postmarket OS is Alpine based. Postmarket was pretty bad. I run Parrot OS, Kali, and everything for compatibility, and Debian stable for server stability. Parrot bloat, Kali bloat. Parrot bloat, Kali bloat. Can I use QubesOS on a home lab? No. You can just use. There are plenty of ways to have a. If you want, like, actually, there's there's literally a plethora amount of secure Linux server infrastructure, but the thing is, most Linux servers are going to be, they're going to come down to a couple things. Do you care about stability? Do you care about documentation? Server distros are different than Linux desktop distributions. That's why when people say Linux secure, you can't compare the attack surface from, because they get this idea from servers. I say if you want minimal security focused, Alpine. You can do Arch is another popular for minimal security focused. The bloat on Calipari OS stops most other packages from working, so I consider it a security feature. It's funny. And then Gen 2 is another popular one. And then you have container orchestration, where you can put stuff into containers. Containers would be they have their own security benefits and drawbacks, but you have to understand container security. You have to understand how Docker works. There's Docker. There's LXC containers. There's different forms of way to do Docker security. Is the same with Parrot OS Home Edition. Parrot OS is okay. They're fine. I think they're fine. They're definitely people say they're bullshit, but they're cool because they have. On a realistic level, you can install the tools yourself and leave the ones you don't need. But in reality, they have a use place. Instead of you spinning up Kali or spinning up, I think Kali Linux and Parrot OS have their place in the security pen testing world. People say that they're lazy or whatever. I only use the security option. It's already bloat. Why not just use all their tools? I think no. You could just. You can install these tools on any Linux distribution. It's just quicker, more efficient, already configured, easy. But when you do, I spoke to their team at DEF CON. They were cool. I told them about Debian and WSL issues. Oh, nice. WSL is gay though. I think WSL is the gayest thing. Linux on Windows is just retarded. I just can't get behind it. I'm just going to be a hater about it. If you want to use Parrot OS as a daily... Yeah, you can use any Linux distro as a daily driver as long as you are willing to understand that not everything is monolithic in Linux. If you want to use Tails OS as a daily driver, you definitely can. People come up with arbitrary, specific things on why they can't be as a daily driver, and it becomes... Then you uncover the latest. WS is good for corporate searching, if you know what I mean. If you're looking for the sexy secretary, yeah. The thing is, if you want, how do I explain it? If you can use Tails if you don't plan on gaming on your laptop and you don't care about remembering everything, you know what I mean? Like Microsoft Store. Oh, we Microsoft in this bitch. But I'm micro hard. Where's the recent? There we go. Oh, I can just do this. 24.043. Okay. Oh, okay. One, two, three, four, five. There we go. Okay, maybe I put too little bit of RAM. And I would say Ubuntu has its place. It's just not for me. Just because I say it's not for me doesn't mean I think it's not for everyone. I literally think Pop! OS sucks. I had 2 issues with Pop! OS, both ButterFS issues. And I switched from, I'm trying to think back how far. So, in order, I think my Linux distribution hopping started. I started with Ubuntu, got bored of it. Went from Ubuntu to Solus. I don't know how I landed on that second, but I did. Went from Solus to Elementary OS. Tried that, fucked around, found out. Elementary OS was very interesting. I tried Zorin. I gave them $1, so fuck them. Tried, and then I landed in the middle. For a very long time, I landed on Arch Linux. And because I was like distro hopping, I was using Ventoy. I was like fucking like, before Arch Linux, I landed on Pop! OS because I wanted to become a gamer. Dude, what the hell is that noise? What are you banging into? Gaylord fucker? Oh, it might just be my, can you hear that? Whatever. What are you banging in? I don't know. It might be my leg bounce, you know. Channel name should not be. We don't care about grammar on this bitch. Look, maybe one day I'll go into the lore of where my name came from and why it's funny, but it's not the point. It's not the point. Fuck you. We can't read here. Not the point. So I landed on Pop! OS because I wanted to become a gamer and I wanted to game on Linux and I didn't think gaming was possible anywhere else. Well, that's a fucking lie. I landed on because this was on my laptop for the longest time, like before I even got a desktop. But when I got a desktop, I was like gamer time. So I went to Pop! OS, went from Pop! OS to Arch Linux, and I did Arch Linux for a very, very, very long time. Now I'm on Void Linux. On my laptop, I switched between every distro under the sun at this point. I've tried Trinsquill. I've tried FreeBSD. I tried I did Pentoo, Gentoo, Fedora Blue. I noticed. Fedora. I did Fedora Security Edition, Fedora Security Labs. I've done ParrotOS. I've done Kali Linux. I've done pretty much everything in between. Solus was probably still my favorite. I love Solus. If I had a spare laptop, I would just I would have Solus just to have it, just to open it up every now and then and look at it. I wonder if I could do this in a live environment. Let's skip that update. Where's the terminal? Have you done the demo on XMR mining? Mine couldn't work for some reason. Something to do with, I don't know, maybe Void Linux, maybe I'm retarded. It could be that. I'm just retarded. DF Tech H. Okay. Yep, gotta install it. Not really, but to help decentralize the network, yeah. Also, has anyone vetted QubesOS devs? Are they not a bunch of trannies? I don't care if they are. So, if that's something that you care about, that makes you incredibly gay. That's the first thing that you think of. And maybe you should Maybe you should be on a different website. I swear, anyone who brings up anything tranny related or asks what the political views of I went AFK, what's going on, or anyone asks like the political beliefs of anything that isn't indirectly like involved with them makes them a super fag and retarded. If you plan on mining on Pi Zeros, try mining in the nano pool because of the low hash rate you get from those weak CPUs. Yeah, you could try downloading on the Pis. The Pi speed are the same, test tens of kilobytes. I think your network's been compromised, brother. The thing about Pi's mining, it's going to be like pennies a year. You're just helping secure the network. That's all it is. So it's kind of like running a Tor relay or a node. You're not, you yourself are doing an inherent good, if that makes sense. All right, I'm just going to install this. I remember I was mining on there is this new software thing that came out, this thing that apparently is super cool. That is something with Umbrel that helps you like pull your resources together and mine more. Mining Monero isn't really a profitability thing, but it's really based on they're worth like $5,000 now or something. Formatted the drive, rip. How about I try mining on the iPhone that one guy connected 100 chargers or two or something? You could minimize the cost of mining Monero if you connect the computer to the school electricity internet. It's true. I embrace stealing from your local schools. You are a taxpayer. I think people that have done that have been caught, though. Gang scraping, solar panels too. Yeah, that's true. There's also the fact that you can 110% do it off solar, but Monero's not really, again, it's not like a super profitable coin to mine. That's the point. There's still a need. They do it. There is a need to profit, to keep it profitable. So there might be, from what I read the documentation, the fee economy might incentivize Monero CPU miners. I'm too lazy to solder the panels to my Pis with all the extra shit too. I might just take the electricity cost hit for the net. Yeah, like I run a Tor relay. I run an I2P pool. Later, Billy. That's the thing is I generally think people just do it for the greater good. Even doing Snowflake in your browser helps decentralizing the network and preventing 51% attack with Monero is the goal. Something that can very well happen if less people do it. That's why some bigger networks like Qubit was trying to do it because they don't think there's enough miners or some shit. Snowflake is the future of malware and privacy. No, not that Snowflake. We mine Monero on the bank of web RTC traffic packets. Oof. Different Snowflake. Damn, this thing is taking forever to fucking install. This is why I hate Ubuntu. It's bloated. Not Tor Snowflake. Yeah, Tor Snowflake. WebRTC traffic packets. Oof. Is it Snowflake or is it Snow Proxy? I thought it is Snowflake. Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's routed via WebRTC. Yo, they got refresh. I think Sam Bent told me about this, and he said there's still some issues with it and don't trust it yet. Seems super cool. Oh wait, Rico chat, refresh. Are you aware of cases of Rico chat where users were de-anonymized? If so, how? We are not aware of any cases where users currently version of Rico chat refresh have been de-anonymized, including alleged cases. Since no evidence such was provided us, the reported attacks occurred in 2019-2021. We have substantially updated the software to improve security since that time. Some technical details from our end. In particular, the Vanguard's Lite feature was introduced, Rico chat refresh version 3.0 June 2022, after upgrading to 4.7 series without being provided with the details. What are the timing attacks? Could they be applied to anonymous? Okay. May not be secure, but it's undetectable for sure in corporate networks. I haven't seen anyone write a Tor Snowflake C2 yet, though. Maybe not be secure, but it's undetectable for sure. Yeah, I think the point is just to help people that are censored connect to Tor. That's all it is. Tor Snowflake C2 yet. Yeah. So I mean that's just my viewpoint. Anything that, you know, security again is a trade-off. Sometimes in real life you have some trade-offs that you're going to run into. I'm always the advocate for improving OPSEC with security, but OPSEC should be first, because good security doesn't really matter if you have bad OPSEC. You know, in reality, it's one of those things. What up, Alaska Moose? I think there are, in some scenarios where security is black and white, like this isn't secure and probably not a good idea, and there is some definite truths in that are put into it, like you don't need HTTPS on Tor sites. You don't need HTTPS. On Onion sites. You don't need HTTPS on EAP sites. You're not achieving anything. It's already encrypted. So that's something that like people will argue for and against. The VPN over Tor thing is just really a debate of practice and who do you trust, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, there are some things where people can debate their points and you're going to trade off, but then there's undebatable points like when you're like, if you are like using PGP, does it encrypt everything down to the metadata? It doesn't. You know what I mean? Like PGP has its limitations and its trade-offs. Versus Signal has its trade-offs. It's there are some things that are like objectively like, yeah, this is true, this is not possible to do, and then there are other things that are just like, all right, there's trade-offs and I'm gonna have to live with that. Like Monero, when I use or try to use Monero XYZ, I am taking the trade-off that this is accepted in the circular economy. And this is accepted as a currency and people value it and demean it as a currency. It's no different than Bitcoin. Bitcoin just got so big because of the price. Bitcoin didn't get big or recognized without the price being pumped. And I don't think people realize that. Bitcoin's value only came from the price, and it did not come from the adoption, and I disagree with people taking it, because if people remember correctly, Tesla took Bitcoin at one point, and then they stopped because they were losing money on it because it fluctuates too much. I don't know if they still even take it. There's a lot of companies that will accept Bitcoin, cool, but they're like in fucking South America, where they have terrible banks and banking regulations and an awful lot of other reasons. And some people don't have the ability to get bank. Now that consensually people agree that Bitcoin is a form of currency and it's a form of payment and store value, I still think that Bitcoin is been compromised. Its ideology has been compromised. Its perspective has been compromised. And Bitcoin has lost the plot. That's my view. And the problem with Bitcoin mainly is the fact, and it will always be a big problem with it, it is... Fuck you, I'm not sharing shit. Canonical. It is traceable. It is a public ledger. You have to do way too many things in order to get Bitcoin to not be traceable. Yo, put the song "Solo Mining Monero" from Crypto Bear on Odyssey for the vibes. I don't want to get a copyright strike. Crypto Bear. And I genuinely hate most crypto bros because I think they only care about price. They only care about the bag. They do not care about fundamentals. Monero is a price increase, a good thing, sure, but I don't care objectively about the price in hindsight for two reasons. I think Monero's core principle is... What's up, Alex? I think Monero's core principle is two things. It achieves a fungibility, and it achieves relatively good, as long as you run your own node with some caveat, relatively good privacy, and it's accepted. That's three things. And some German wouldn't let me pay him in crypto to cover a bill. Fucking NEETs always make shit gay. BlackRock has too much money in Bitcoin. That's why I can't trust Bitcoin. Yeah, it takes like 15 days for a wire to get to him from the U.S. Yeah, exactly. There's, like I said, there's absolutely a use case for Bitcoin and most crypto. But the problem is Bitcoin has been compromised in the sense of its price is insane. And yes, 100%, it's instant. But the thing is, here's the thing. You guys, the reason he didn't want to do it is because he didn't trust the currency. And because you guys didn't agree that it's a currency, it is not a currency in this case because they don't see the store value. You seem multi-sig tool for XMR. I have not. I should. So in that case, yeah, it sucks, but that's the problem. Money, again, only exists because people consensually unanimously agree that it is a currency and it can be accepted anywhere. I've went to places where they accept Monero. I went to a place that accepted Bitcoin Lightning. I was like, hey, cool, Bitcoin Lightning based. And they're like, yeah. And I paid for, I used my own Lightning node doing it. And I was like, cool. And I paid for it. And I will send it to you if you. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. So I'm not saying that we got Pax Gold now, though. Pax Gold's fucking retarded. Don't even get me started. I forgot about Pax Gold. Gold is super manipulated. All the tokenomics and bullshit and oh my god, no thank you. I completely forgot about the Pax Gold. Oh my god, yeah. I don't even like gold, so don't even get me started. I think gold is worthless. I think all metals are retarded in general too. I think all, if not almost all metals are a scam. Most people say it's inflationary, a hedge against inflation. No, it's not. If the economy collapsed and someone came up to me with gold, the asteroid mining is priced in already, for real. I think investing in palladium is better than investing in gold. The thing is, gold has very little use outside of the medical industry and the space industry. Most motherfuckers will be like, it's to hedge inflation. Yeah, if the economy crashed tomorrow, no one can eat gold. You can't eat gold. And I can say the same thing with crypto. You can't eat crypto. You can't eat Bitcoin. I think the most this is going to sound crazy, the most valuable asset is land. The best asset. The only asset that matters. You need land for everything. You need land to mine your fucking gold. You need land to have a house. You need land to have a business. You need land. Maybe the nuclear weapon metals might be based in investing. Metals might be based for investing. Yeah, you should definitely invest into uranium. Uranium's crazy. I've been saying people should invest into nuclear companies for a long time. It's a long growth financial strategy, but I think in the long term the issue with gold is that the rich owns gold mines and they hoard the gold, which makes it so they can it's a completely manipulated pile of shit. But guess what? Land is finite. Land is one of the best assets you can own, and land is what you need. Land for everything. I think land is the most important asset to own. If you don't own land, own land. Land will always have a value. Even the shittiest land on the planet will have a value. It's land. It's literally needed for everything. I think land is the most important asset. In my country, owning land means nothing because the government can take it away from you whenever. Yeah, sure. I mean, the government can take whatever they want. Who hoards crypto? We hoard crypto. Yeah. I think actually, yeah, raw material, in terms of nuclear defense contracts, that's always going to be huge money. And I think space would be anything space related right now, because we're going to probably go to space wars in our lifetime. So aerospace, space contracts, space military contracts. Thank you, Raytheon. Stuff like that. Memes aside, but yeah, I mean, owning land means nothing maybe in perspective, but I'm just saying from a pure value standpoint that everyone can agree on, land is the most important. That's why the government would take it away from you, because they know it's valuable. I'm just talking about a pure economical standpoint in terms of value. Nothing beats land. Guess what you need to dig gold? Land. Guess what you need to do this? Land. What's what you need to build? Land. Land is this is why people fight over the land. Yeah, they're fighting over the oil, but they need the land to do it, so what do they got to do? They got to fight over the land. I mean, land has literally always been fighting for. The politics on aerospace and defense companies is too risky for me. Yeah, they're also too stable. I'm looking for volatility. Actually, no. That's what you want. Is you want this? I mean, I hate to say it, Microsoft is probably gonna fucking go to the moon this year. Microsoft, and there's some aerospace companies I'm looking at. They're definitely gonna fucking rock it. No pun intended, because of just, I think that's where it's gonna head. AI is not a bubble yet. But yeah, when owning land, you should farm tomatoes, potatoes, onions, berries, make the land usable. Yeah, sure. Do whatever you want with it. It's the real value. You need land. If you want volatility, just pump your money into like Google, Microsoft, any defense, not even defense contracts, just anything tech related right now. I know people are like shitting and farting over tech, but I think Microsoft's gonna shoot off. I know people are gonna meme on me. Rapid7 is a good ticker I was looking at. That's the security company, right? Let me see. Let me see what the calls are. There's some, yeah. Yeah, probably. $10. It's up 2%. Let's see. Forward dividend yield should be. It's trying to shoot for 18. Open. What's the low? 52 range. $10 to $38. What's the all-time high? GitLab, Go Software, Rapid7. Wait, GitLab? I forgot. GitLab. They went public, right? I forgot GitLab went public. What's their last year's performance? Ooh, I mean, they took a dive. Should have shorted them for the last year. Even the last 6 months, they're down 42%, but that doesn't mean anything. What's their PE ratio? 30. Ooh. I think 30 is not good. I believe a good PE ratio is like 20. I'll keep it on my radar. I haven't seen them at DEF CON in a while or anywhere, but they used to have a good name. Yeah. You ever farm crops before? Is it fun actually? Your own crops taste better than those store. Of course, I have a couple times. Sentient 1 is low too right now. Blackberry, I don't know. I wouldn't do Blackberry. They're meme too much. Most Westerners just have grass and other useless crops on their land and nothing edible. I mean, you're talking to the vegetable king over here, man. I love vegetables. I mean, Blackberry's not going to make a comeback. I don't think they're. But I'll look at some like security companies. I think there's some interesting ones out there. It's always good to take your money and diversify, even if you don't agree with like how capitalism works, or like if you think that it's a waste of time to put in these evil companies. You need to do what you need to take the resources that you are dealt with and the system that you are dealt with, and you need to take advantage of it. You need to take the best advantage of it. You need to curate the most amount of money as efficient as possible, and you need to take your money and make it work for you. I've always been an advocate for good financial literacy. I think it's important to invest your money because you don't know where the economy is going to go, and until a good cryptocurrency that will take over and replace and there's not a really good set of ones, or the type of economy that it would be put into, which I don't think is going to happen in my lifetime. is always good to take your money and diversify it as much as possible. We're not just Linus Tech Tips here. We are, what do you call it? We are financial tech tips and privacy. Okay. The problem with volatility is you have to do contracts. You have to do you have to do calls. Like if you're doing like these low meme stocks or anything, you have to do massive, deep in the money calls. Actually, BlackBerry Astron S is heard, but I don't know why what they're actually worth. ASTC. Oh, Astrotech. I think they are the... Ooh, God. 56% down. Yikes. Would not touch them. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. If you think that it's a good investment now and it's going to help you later, like 10, 15, 20 years, I mean, there are definitely some industries I put my money in, and it's not good now because they're not really the money isn't there yet. But I think in the maybe 10 to 15 years, the money will be there. 400 to 3 billion. Something with military space. Oh, I don't like. Oh, space. Oh, space sats. It's got to bounce up at some point. Yeah, both in the Soviet Union and the use, it was common that you farmed your own crops because some foods were scarce in the store. Yeah. I'll look at their wiki. I'll put them in my. I always star stuff because I might go like a little bit deeper to see if military defense contracts don't mean anything. But I was telling people like about 2.5 years ago to put their money in uranium, like companies, and just find ones that are looking promising. And uranium did really well last year. I mean, it's somewhat of a gamble. It's a gamble. That's why I say if you're going to do anything, just do calls deep in the money and way out, like way out. Unless you get crushed by IV. If you get crushed by IV, you're going to be kind of fucked, which can happen the longer your contract sits. As a European, I avoid putting my money in the U.S. stocks. Oh, you shouldn't. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. You should put your money into your own country, especially. That's the smartest thing to do. You should put your money into your own country's stocks that you understand, especially like. The thing is, you need to not only understand your industry, you're going to understand your industry more than anything. You can put your money into fucking corn. Like, you can do future trading. You can do... I know future for... I used to only do Mr. Calls and lost 20K in 2022. Yeah, that sounds... Why would you do fucking MSTR? Wow, isn't that fucking that Bitcoin mining company? Yeah, MicroStrategies or something like that. I mean, they did pretty... Yeah, fuck that. They did pretty good in the last day. They're up 26% somehow in the last day, which is kind of crazy. But they're like down... Year to date, they're down like 58%. You would have had to buy it 5 years ago. You would have had to got it... If you would have held it in 2020 and kept it at $40, like bought like 1,000 shares at $40, you'd be solid right now. But that's the same thing with Monero or like any other asset. The best kind of stocks, though, I hate to say it, is the boring ones. It's like a Ponzi. Yeah. They made me they made me the 20K and then you lost it. I think they're not going to fall. Real capitalism doesn't exist in America, brother. I mean, Boeing would have been bankrupt by now with all the mistakes they made. Website. Okay, enter. The thing is, like, you need to find companies and know how to exit. You have to have a strategy. You have to have not only a strategy, you have to hold yourself accountable. So if, let's say you have a stop loss, like say you find a stock, you're like, I think it's going to go up. I had a fractional shares and they did stock split. I ended up getting 5K back again. And when I was in jail in New York City in 2025, oh nice. Not nice that you're in jail, but okay, then him. Nice. Only a 15K loss. So you need to have like what do you call it? You need to have yourself what I would call a strategy. So if you think it's going to go up $1,000 like in a week, and you're going to make say $1,500 from like the investments, whatever, but there might be some volatility. Once that no volatility hits, you do a stop loss. Say at the max you'll lose 300 and you'll clap the contracts. Then clap the contracts, depending on how long the contract is. That's what I do. Qubit can be started by clicking on the application in the launcher. Oh, there you are. Oh, hi. Oh, hi, Mark. The meme. Trading view. I'm into all that stuff. Charts. I hate to say it. Charts are relatively, they're mostly useless. They're all bullshit. The best thing you can look at, you can understand, is the Greeks to a certain degree. And understand, and you have to read the news. You really have to be locked into the news. I never seen automatic stop loss. The Jews are watching it. Only mental stop loss. Oh, no, I have a stop loss. I have an exit strategy for everything. That'd be retarded. Let me later. Most of the charts are bullshit. All you need to do is one tweet can fucking crash the economy. That's the problem. We're at that stage. One tweet, one bad, F-slur. Yes, I2P is being attacked. Oh. Everything is a cycle. Yeah, there's cycles. I don't think we're at the tech bubble. Like, I don't think Michael Burberry was like, we're in a tech bubble and half the economy crashed. I think my very low download speeds are due to my ISP. Fuck them all. True. Fuck all your ISPs though. I believe that we're just in the middle, or we're gonna hit the tipping point of tech. I think I think this AI bubble we're not even close to being done with it. Ever traded open source crypto bot like Farq? Crypto bots don't work. If they worked, if crypto trading bots worked, really, really rich people would never touch the stock market themselves. I think we're at like 15, 20 people trading those. I think there were like 15 to 20 people trading those options in 2020. I was making with a couple thousand. We all got rugged by those fucking Nazis. all you got to do is really just fucking, like, once you hit. I have a percentage of options I hit, like a percentage of I want to make, and then I clap the contract. I don't care if I can make 50x more or 20x more or whatever. I like consistency. That's just like with anything though. Like it's kind of like at your job. Like, once you hit your highest pay that you can get there, why the fuck would you stay there? You go somewhere else, make more. It's just like it's like hookers. Like, you can only fuck so many before you're like, you know what? Maybe I should get a wife, so I can have a daily hooker, aka me. All right, select project directory. We'll put this in the downloads. and we'll select. And next. File name. Select the original disk image to customize. Oh. I have to. Maybe I should read the docs. If the directory is used as a project, the argument will be ignored. Cubic. Ooh. Okay. Who would want to ask if they forget to how to fart? A tutor. It's free. What's up, Ryan? It's a good. It's a good one. Is that why you got you left for so long, Ryan? You had to think of that joke. Oh, custom disk. I mean, release URL. Maybe I have to download Ubuntu inside of Ubuntu. I know the Black Rock has a supercomputer bot, Aladdin, that takes care of their investments. Yeah, but they're feeding those investments with a lot of data that they collect themselves. Apparently, it was reported around that late January and patch for ITP Plus arrived very early February. Thousands of peers that won't route connections were added. 60% all trades on stocks are done by bots. Yeah, but they're losing money. You can actually go look up the people that do this. They either break even or they lose money the whole time. See you in another month with the next joke. That should be Ryan's shtick. He just comes once a month to say a really funny joke and then leaves. Low tunnel bill rates is the biggest symptom, and outdated routers will have the maximum participation tunnels of 2,000 fulfilled. Yeah, I think there's still an attack going on with them. But even if you look at like bot trading, like if bot trading was really that profitable, people would just do it. It's not as profitable as everyone makes it out to be, because there is going to be AI governments like Dexa. On God, I mean, there's already a few countries that have done AI written laws with AI, so I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. They'll have to, over my dead body kind of thing, though. To be honest, if that ever happens. For real. Ryan is going to be our next AI president, though. Actually, I take it back. If there's going to be I got my implants done already. I'm geared up for the cyborg war. See, I should be able to implant like something cool, like automatic turrets on my hands or something. That'd be sick. If I could get a Proxmark K3 implanted, that'd be sick. That would be sick. I've always that would be sick. What's up, Bo Jackson? I want to get one of those. They look cool. The ProMark K3. Hackerware Total Recall. Yeah, like if it's gonna be a phone, it's got to be like the Pine Phone Pro or something, or the Risk 5 tablet from Pine 64, so I can have Gen 2 on my chest. Like I want a chest plate carrier that has like a little collapsible like pull out, so I can pull out my open source tablet and watch Brain Raccoon. Oh, I'm not wearing this tactical gear, electric boogaloo moment. I'm just gooning in public. I got the RDV4. It's a pain to configure, but it's worth it. RDV4. That's for like NFC stuff, right? From Hacker Warehouse, baby. Yeah, it looks cool. Bluetooth plus battery module for Proxmark RDV4. Nice. It looks sick. Yeah, this is this is for gold plate FCC connector, 10-inch switch. I know it does. I just got into like SDR radio, software defined radio. Yeah, I don't know why I said software defined radio. NFC, RDFI, and EMV. Sick. Nano Suite, sys, Crisis, based. Yeah, NFC and RFID is super cool to even learn about. How a lot of companies will still have like RFID chips and stuff like that, and NFC cards that aren't encrypted. I was actually like listening to a security talk where he has a card that he goes into like his office, and even if somebody copied that card, they need to know like his PIN in order to get in. It has like 2FA. I need a hacker RF. Oh, I know, man. Why are they so expensive? The approximate is so fucking time consuming. Oh, for like the programming. Can't you just get reading the white paper like a professor? Can't you just get the PortaPack by itself and can't you just get the PortaPack and not get the hacker RF, or do you need the PortaPack with the hacker RF? That's the only thing I can't remember. Lime SDR. Lime SDR looks cool though. Okay, let's try this. We're gonna go next. You don't need the no. Can't you do the PortaPack without the hacker RF? Was my I thought the PortaPack was. Like if you wanted the hacker RF, you wanted the hacker RF, but you didn't want to pay for it, so you got the PortaPack. Lime SDR, you can intercept phone calls. Nice. You don't. I didn't know that. I would love to get a Lime SDR. I know you can make with a Lime SDR. You can make your own private 5G network. It took me like 4 years to figure it out. Not gonna lie. Comes with a Bluetooth module add-on. No, that's still awesome. Learning is always based. I just got into SDR radio. SDR is very cool. I'm learning on the. I can't remember the name of it, but it's right next to me actually. I'm retarded. I have the one that everyone gets. I got the RTLSDR.com or the RTL SDR Model V4. It's very cool. And I messed around with Dragon OS or Whatever the software-defined radio OS is. Hey. Extracting the first Linux file system. Extracting the original disk. Hacker moment. What's the Hollywood hacker? When you get some hardware Dragonella. Some hardware Dragonellas. Oh, it's Hollywood hacker. What's it called? Hollywood hacker? Oh, when you get some hardware, DragonOS. Oh, nice. Yeah. This hasn't been updated. Wow, so it's 1337. I could. Oh, it won't run on just a PC. Oh. Do you have the Lime SDR? Oh. Huh. Oh, GCC. That's what I needed. Oh, damn it. I seen a guy intercept calls with it, though. No. I know you can make your own private network with it. There's a way. Like your own 5G network with it. That's how I learned about it? Nice. Motherfucker. Oh. GCC Hollywood C Tech O Hollywood. There we go. It's a cyber deck. Oh, this is gay. I thought it was that Hollywood like terminal. There's like a known terminal. Okay. Customize the Linux file system using the virtual environment. You have entered the virtual environment. Okay. That follows the president. The nuclear for both of us. What about the nuke? Make changes, advanced options of ton. Okay. Kernel. The kernel is bootstrapped to original disk, bootstrapped everywhere. Okay. Select the compression that for the Linux file system. QubesOS is fine. No, let's do LZ4. What is this? This is the something called Cubic, where you can make your own version of Ubuntu if you want. I want to make it super. I should have made it slow and unusable, and then distributed it to everyone. Calculating checksum for new disk image. Update the disk name. What is the name of this program, bro? Oh, it's right. Cubic. No, it's called Cubic. Test. Try install Ubuntu. I wonder if there's a way for me to using a virtual machine in a virtual machine. Wow. I'll have to keep testing. Oh, CF disk, right? I have to really think about this one. Maybe even figure out how to really customize, like read some documentation. I know there was another project that did something similar. I'm down my last few hits of dab. Gonna Epstein myself real quick. No, don't kill yourself. You're hot. You know the meme? Can you take a stable ISO and play with the kernel? Yeah. So you can really modify Linux however you want. This is to make an ISO. I believe there's ways you can even, in a virtual machine, you could like really like modify whatever you want in hindsight and distribute it however you want. You just gotta tell people, hey, I'm not like updating this shit. I would like to. I would like to bring back Satanic Ubuntu, the demoned version of Ubuntu, the distro, or rebirth Hannah Montana OS. I'll officially become a Linux distro maintainer. I'll be cool based. I will remove systemd and use the more based open version OpenRC. Switch the desktop environment. Let's see. Delete all project files except the generated dist image and correspondent checksum file. Okay. We'll use the what do you call it? OpenRC. We'll use OpenBox, the more based desktop environment. But I'll figure it out. Looks like it's not working. It might be a me thing, because I kind of just like guessed at like this working. Duke Nukem Linux distro. That'd be kind of funny, actually. But Duke Nukem Linux distro would be actually kind of like it'd be like the competitor of Hannah Montana Linux distro. Or I could do like a glowy. I want to think of a famous federal agent, like Agent Smith from like The Matrix. Make it themed up, but no Linux devs in the Epstein files yet. Now that I think about it, might be wrong there. You might be wrong there. There's definitely Linux is mentioned in it though, but of course it is. Like I mean, like Linux isn't like this mysterious distro. Linux isn't this mysterious operating system. It's relatively widely known about. It's just not used by. It's not used by your local ethot that you are trying to impress. Could you make it extra weird? I could. I mean, I have some ideas. Like, I could figure out I could find the worst file manager on the planet, like file manager on the planet, like Dolphin or some shit. Fucking hate Dolphin, by the way. And enforce that. Enforce to do like an encrypted like drive or something. Check out the project XMR multisig. We'll do it in a virtual machine though. I need to cover my tracks. Even the emails? Yeah, sorry, emails even know. Oh, there's a vid. Just some random guy named Shadow. I hate these channels. They're always like anti-Monero for the shield and serve your wealth. Yeah, I don't trust this guy already. Zero trail. Crypto to banks. Cash out millions with no paper trail. How to crack. I should just do a channel like this. I realize, guys, this is where the money's at. Just making the cringiest thumbnails on the planet. Avoid KYC. Cash out crypto before it's too late. Account frozen. This is why exchanges freeze your crypto. Sorry, my ADHD kicked in and I just get... These kind of channels just make me cringe. Which video? Privacy coin ranked. One isn't Monero or Zcash. Try. I need to see.
Think your crypto is private? It's not. One data breach, one core order, one mistake linking your name to a wallet, and your entire financial history becomes public record.
What is this crackhead talking about? How many times is someone gonna go in? Another sales pitch, ignore it. Nice chat GPT script. Zero won't replace XMR because it's a token on Solana, not a layer 1 blockchain. There's a huge security flaw of regular press Solana validators. Super unhappy with zero priced. Yeah, what a fucking...
Government agencies track blockchain.
I can't edit. Like, I hate editing. Back to the... I will. I need to, hold on. I need to make fun of this video.
Transactions the same way the NSA collects your data. Chain analysis firms piece together your complete financial picture from breadcrumbs you didn't know existed. Once your identity touches that wallet, every
God, this editing is like someone like paid someone on Fiverr to do it. I hate it.
transaction you ever made is permanent, mapped out, and traceable.
Yeah, we know. Everyone knows this. If you don't know this by now, you're retarded. Everyone knows. Wow, Notify Me is his channel has a short video. Oh, back at the top. Oh. Perfect. I love shorts. Oh, it's no Ledger.
Hi, I'm gonna
cracking blue MIDI sequencer. Turning is between a full MIDI sequencer. No. How to not make PVCs. Is it as most have known? Oh, is there shorts? What's the most popular? 3D printed sling hammer. Have no. You know what have no is. Noster based. Base Noster. Free RTOS versus task scheduler. "11 minutes is a long video. For me." Is this it? Web of Trust, GPG versus DAO. Stop leaking secrets, master end-to-end encryption with GNU PGP. Quick start. Embedded custom fonts. The fuck? Perfect. Fox. CAN bus, data, dictionary. RTOS versus basic task scheduler. Huh. Zero comments is kind of strange. I don't know, 600 views and 0 comments is a little strange. Even my lowest viewed video has like comments on it. Can I get the shorts version of this? Oh, Sam Bet.
So this is the onion for Feather Wallet. It's a cryptocurrency wallet. Pretty straightforward. That's what it is. Enjoy. So this is the onion for Feather Wallet.
Oh. Monero can't.
Another one, let's hit you with it. Monero can't scale.
So when you look at Monero, I think a lot of the easy responses to it is that it can't scale because the transactions are larger. The first thing that it misses is that Monero has drastically improved in efficiency and continues to improve in efficiency. Judging Monero.
Yeah, I'm lost. Try click on brain news. All of our crypto was stolen due to one mistake. Oh my god, XRP. This is what I'm saying. Normies get into like XRP. Let me see what this.
The second way that you might want to own the cryptocurrency is by buying it yourself and holding it yourself in a cold storage wallet. You certainly can do that, but that requires a fair amount of work and research for you.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't require a fair amount of. It's the same thing. You just the spending is a little bit harder. That's it. Doing offline signing and like that is it's not harder. It's just more time consuming.
To be able to accomplish, in addition to the fact that if you ever forget your password to that cold storage wallet,
Write it down.
then you have lost your cryptocurrency forever, and we certainly wouldn't want that to happen. The second way that you might want to own a cryptocurrency is by buying it yourself and holding it yourself in a cold storage.
Do it. Do it. Just do it. Quit being a bitch. I'm not getting this shit.
I had a crazy idea. We were surprised that no one had done it before.
Success doesn't follow a formula, and neither do you.
Who knew that?
I'm just gonna read about this shit. Oh, Monero docs. In cryptocurrency, multi-sig features allow to sign a transaction with more than one private key. Funds are protected with multi-sig can only be spent by signing with M of N keys. Example, shared accounts, one of two, both husband and wife individually have full access to their funds. Consensus account, two of two, both husband and wife must agree to spend their funds. Threshold account, two of three escrow services involved is an independent third party to co-sign with either the seller or with the buyer if the seller do not agree. Secure account, two of three, single owner controls all three keys but secure them in different means of diversify risk. Arbitrary threshold. Monero's multi-signature design. Monero doesn't directly implement multi-signatures, at least not in a classical sense. Monero emulates this feature by secret splitting. Transactions are still signed with the single spend key. The spend key is a sum of all and private keys. The rationale for such design is to decouple multi-sig from ring signatures. Let's consider two of the three scheme. We have three participants. Each participant is granted exactly two private keys in a way that pairs do not repeat between the participants. This way, two participants together have all three private keys required to create a private spend key. Multi-signature is a wallet-level feature, and there's no separate multi-signature address type. This means there's no way to learn from the blockchain which transactions were created using multi-signatures. Based. Oh, wow, my live stream started. That's weird. I wonder why. I just noticed. Multisig is certainly only available via the command line interface. The tutorial will assume you have some familiar. Create the new wallet. Some other things. If you run into the once or twice in total. Receiving the funds, funding the multi-signature. Check the account balance, spending the funds. Prior to explaining the process for spending the funds of ownership, there are 2 core steps. First, the sharing of pair key images. At minimum, the spender needs to get partial key image from the people, 1 or more, who will sign the transaction with him later. They need to export the file and share it with the future spender, whom they import the file to their wallet. Second, creating a signing and submitting transaction. A transfer is created, written to the file, and then the files need to be signed by the cosigner before it can lastly submit a network. That's very cool. You know, it seems like it's really a security thing. It's kind of cool. Yeah, about the experimental features. It's definitely an interesting concept. I have never had the need because I just use a regular cold wallet, and I have to do a lot of signing and capturing to make it work. So no mistakes, and it's pretty relatively, cold wallets are pretty secure. But it's definitely cool. It's a cool concept. All right, guys. I feel like I've given like 2 hours of streaming. Thank you for everyone joining. And really weird that my stream restarted. Super lame and very uncool. But what is based in cool is commenting below, making sure that YouTube knows that I am a person of culture. I love all their policies, and I've done nothing wrong, and I have nothing to complain about YouTube. One of the greatest platforms ever. Also, comment below your favorite type of crop field, your favorite pattern that you've seen, made definitely by aliens who are definitely real. Don't forget to walk your snail, or you get 1,000 years of bad luck. And if you don't like and share, you will also get 10,000 years of bad luck. See you later.